In this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can add functionality to this login and to this register button. As you can see, when I click on this button, this will not do anything. You will not get any result from these buttons. I want to add functionality to this button. When I click on the login, I want to open the login form, and when I click on the register, I want to open the register form. As well as, I want to display the active button in my React application. So to do that, let me just back to my Visual Studio Code editor. Inside my imports, I have baselogin.jsx file. Inside this file, you can see here, I have this left section code of this login form. Here I have the login and the register button. What we are going to do is, at the top, here I'm going to import a module called React Router DOM. Let's first import use location, then import use history, and then import link. As you know, we already installed this module in my React project, so I'm not going to install it again. You can notice inside my package.json file, I'm going to have a module React Router DOM. I'm not going to install this module again because I already have that. Now let me explain what is the use of this use location. Basically, use location is used to access the current location of your application, and use history allows you to navigate through different locations. And then we have link. Link is just like an anchor tag, but as you know, when you click on the anchor tag, it will reload the page. Link is not going to reload your page. Use location and use history is a hook, and link is a component. Let's use all these inside this function. Here I'm going to create a constant variable and specify name to it, location is equal to, and let's initialize this location with use location hook. Just out of that, just down here, I'm going to say constant history is equal to, and then I'm going to say use history. I'm going to initialize this variable with use history hook. Just after that, what I want, when the user click on this login button, I want to redirect the user to the login page. And when the user click on this register button, I want to redirect the user to the register page. To do that, I'm going to simply create here a constant variable register is equal to, and then I'm going to specify here a function like this. And inside this function, I'm going to simply call here history object, this history variable, and then I'm going to specify here dot and call a method of it, which is push. This push method is going to navigate you through the different route. So I'm going to call here push, and in the parenthesis, you need to specify your route, where you want to go. So in the double quote, I'm going to specify / and specify here register. I'm going to specify the route path inside this push method. I'm not going to specify any base URL before this slash because history object will automatically get that base URL. Just out of that, I'm going to specify here constant, then specify here login is equal to, and then I'm going to call here a function. And here I'm also going to say history dot push, and here I'm going to specify login. I want to redirect the user to the login page as well. That is why I'm going to specify a route here, login. And then I'm going to specify both these variables to these buttons. So here I'm going to create an event on click is equal to, and then I'm going to pass here curly braces, and I'm going to pass both these functions to this event. So as you can see, I have this first login button. So to this login button, I'm going to specify a function login. So here I'm going to simply say login. Then just down here, I'm going to call on click event again, and in the curly braces, I'm going to specify register. Let me save this file back to my project, and when I click on the register, as you can see, it will open the register form. When I click on the login, it will open the login form. You can notice when I click on the button, it will change this route path as well. You can notice. Now what I want to display the active button. So to do that, I'm going to just back to my base login function. Right up here, I'm going to simply create two variables. So here I'm going to say let, and then I'm going to specify here variable name default class is equal to, and in the double quote, I'm going to specify the default classes of the button. You can notice here, I have all these default classes to this button. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut these classes from here and specify that to this default class variable like this. And instead of this double quote, here I can simply specify default class. Let me get rid of this second button classes as well. And in the curly braces, I'm going to specify here default class. Let me save the changes. You can notice I'm going to have the same styling. Now, just for that, I want to add active class to this default class when I click on the button. So just after this variable, here I'm going to create let active is equal to, and in the double quote, I'm going to create a class called active. I already have styling of this class inside my CSS file, so I'm not going to add it again. So before this class, let me first add a space, because as you know, we need space between all the CSS classes. So when I concatenate this variable with this default classes, I need space between these classes. That is why I'm going to add space before this class name. Just for that, right down here inside these classes, here I'm going to add condition. I'm going to add a condition if the location, or you can say the about path, is equal to the login page, then I'm going to specify default classes plus the active button. Let me show. Here I'm going to simply add location, this location hook dot path name. This location hook is going to have a property called path name. So here I'm going to check if the path name is equal to, in the double quote, I'm going to specify login. If it is equal to login, then I'm going to return default class plus active class, or I'm going to just return default class. So if the current route is matched with this login, I'm going to return the default class plus the active class. Otherwise, I'm going to just return the default class. I'm going to do the same for this register button as well. Here I'm going to specify location dot path name if the path name of my project is equal to register, then I'm going to say here default class plus active class, or I'm going to return just a default class. That's it. Let me save this file back to my project, and as you can notice, I'm going to have the result what I want. I am on my register page, so I'm going to have here active button registered. When I click on the login, you can notice this will active the login button. You can see here. Just for that, instead of this anchor tag, I'm going to add this link tag here. As you know, when you click on the anchor tag, it will reload the page. So instead of adding this anchor tag, I'm going to add here link tag and specify some classes to it first. Classes is going to be now brand. Then I'm going to specify here a property called to. Here you need to specify the href property where you want to redirect the user. When the user click on the link, I want to redirect the user on the root route. So I'm going to specify here /, and here I'm going to specify logo. That's it. Let me get rid of this anchor tag right from here. Save this file. As you can see, I'm going to have the same result, but when I click on the login, it will redirect me to the home page. Now, as you can see, we successfully added the functionality to both these buttons. Next, I'm going to show you how you can add Redux inside this project to centralize the state.